Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back. I am very excited for this episode. Today, I am going to talk about why you can only receive what you can actually hold and what that means. So, the thing is, a lot of people are in a space where they're trying to manifest certain things or trying to move towards certain things or experiences or relationships or levels of abundance or whatever it might be. And the thing is, most likely, if that's you, you will encounter certain blocks or fears or obstacles on this journey. And what I want to talk about in this episode, or what I want to question, is what if the reason that you're currently not receiving more, for example, clients or money or abundance or love or the relationships that you want, what if the reason for that isn't because you're not worthy of it? It's not because you're being tested. It's not because you're blocked. It's not because you're missing something. It's not because there's still something you need to do. What if it is because your system at this point in time simply cannot hold more? And I see this a lot with a lot of my clients. They've done so much work. They're doing all the things. They're manifesting. They're trying to align themselves with the things, the experiences that they want. And yet something doesn't seem to work. Like they're not getting more money. They're not getting more clients. They're not getting the things that they actually want. And what I'm going to share today is something that completely changed the way that I see those things, and that completely changed the way that I think about receiving the things or the experiences or the energies that you want to receive. For example, if you are saying, I want more clients, I want more money, I want more abundance, I want more visibility, I want more people to follow me on my social media, I want to hold bigger retreats, I want to be able to hold more of my unique soul gifts, I want to have more impact. If you've ever thought or said one of these things or anything else that you feel like, I want that, have you ever asked yourself if that thing or that experience or that energy arrived in your reality right now, in this moment, would you actually be able to hold it? Like, would you actually be able to hold the thing that is suddenly in your field, in your reality, in your system? Because the thing is, and this is what happens for a lot of people, I see this a lot, and I just want to give you an analogy. For example, imagine that you had a cup, and this cup could hold 1 liter of water, 1 liter of liquid. And you are constantly trying to pour 5 liters of water or 5 liters of liquid into that cup. What's going to happen is it's not going to fit. Like it's not going to get more than that 1 liter that is already in there. And so the problem here is not the water. The problem is not what you're pouring in. The problem is not that the things that you want or the things that you're pouring into that cup don't exist, because they do. Like, you have those 5 liters, like they are coming from somewhere. They're in your field. You're already holding them in your vision, in your hands. But as soon as you try to pour them into your cup, there's just not enough space. Like, you cannot hold it. And that's what I mean by, could you actually hold it if it arrived right now? Because as you can see, the problem is the cup, is the container, is the thing that's holding, or that's supposed to hold, the energy, the experience, the money, the clients. And if you're trying, for example, to call in more clients, but energetically you can actually only hold the amount that you already have, there's no way that there are more clients going to come in, because it's exactly the same analogy with like that I just shared with the cup. If 5 clients fill your cup and it's full, trying to call in more is not going to get more clients into your cup. They're not gonna come into your reality. Yes, they might be in your field. Yes, they might be around you. You might be able to feel them or see them, or you might even be able to connect with their higher selves or with their energy, but they're not going to fully come into your experience because you simply do not have that energetic space. And I mean, what does holding actually mean? Like, if we talk about that, it means that 1, your nervous system can stay regulated while that expansion is happening. And this is one of the things. Like, would you actually be able to stay regulated if you suddenly had 20 clients instead of 5? It also means that you don't collapse if you suddenly have a lot of success. And this also includes the physical setup that you have. For example, if you're running a business, would that business, like the back end, the physical part of that business, would it actually be able to hold a lot more people coming in? Would you actually be able to serve that many more clients? Is that something that you can hold, or is there actually no time, no space? Would you feel overwhelmed? Would you feel like, do you actually have that capacity? Or what holding also means in that case is that more visibility wouldn't make you want to hide. Because yes, I guess, I mean, if you're on social media or on YouTube or wherever you're sharing your work, even if you're sharing your work in person, obviously most people say, yes, of course, I would want more people to follow me, to come into contact with my work, to inquire about my work. But imagine that you suddenly had 1,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 more people following you, looking at you, getting a glimpse into who you are, inquiring about your work. Would you actually feel safe in holding that? Like, would you be like, oh yeah, I feel safe sharing my work, my reality, my life, my business with 10,000 people instead of 10? Like, really ask yourself that. Would you actually feel safe? Like, imagine that tomorrow you're waking up and you're sharing a post and it's not viewed by 10 people, but by 10,000. What would that feel like for you? Like, would you start to think more about how you're saying something or what you're saying, or if you can actually put that picture out, or if you can actually say it in this way? Or, for example, if you suddenly had, I don't know, family members or friends or people that you look up to following you, would that make you actually want to retreat and hide because you feel like, oh, like, if that person is looking at my work, if that person is following me, then I actually feel like I'm not good enough anymore. And that's also part of the, are you able to hold that? Are you able to hold more visibility? Because if more visibility or a different kind of visibility makes you feel like you want to hide, then that means that your capacity is currently not at a point where you would be able to hold that, which is why it's not happening. Or, for example, imagine you suddenly had a lot more money come in. Imagine you were not earning, I don't know, the amount that you're currently earning, but instead 10 times or 20 times or 100 times that amount. Would you actually feel worthy of it? Like, would you say, oh yes, of course I deserve that? Or let's say you charge X amount. Let's say you charge $1,000 for a program or whatever you're offering. And that feels like, yeah, okay, that's kind of what my work is worth. And then tomorrow we would increase that price by 10, and you would suddenly charge $10,000, euros, whatever your currency is. Would you actually feel safe and comfortable to charge that? Or would you suddenly feel like, well, is it actually worth 10,000 instead of 1,000? Would you feel like you'd need to change something about it? Would you feel unsure or uncertain if that price is actually what's the word? If you can actually charge that price for what you're offering. Because if not, then there is a part of you that says, I am not yet ready, or I am not yet worthy of offering that, of asking for that amount of money. Which means that, yes, a part of you might say, oh, I wish people would pay me 10,000 instead of 1,000. But there might be another part of you that's like, well, yeah, but it's not, I don't feel worthy of receiving that much. I don't even feel safe to ask people for that amount of money. Because then again, the capacity that you have for receiving abundance is not actually at a point where you feel safe to receive that, which means that it's not going to come into your reality because you are energetically pushing it away. So what I mean by holding is capacity. Like, do you have the capacity to actually receive and hold what you're asking for without feeling like you want to hide, or you want to change something about it, or you want to overthink or change your expression, change what you put out, change your voice, change your whatever. Because if so, that means that you need to actually work on your capacity. Yes. So, I mean, and you can use any kind of examples for that. For example, if you say, like I said before, you want more visibility, or you want to, I don't know, on social media, you want to go viral. Okay, but if you suddenly had thousands of people commenting and having an opinion of you and judging you online and commenting, and maybe people who say things that are not actually very nice, like, would you be able to hold that emotionally? Because all of that goes into capacity. Same with your soul gifts, because a lot of people say, I want to really activate my soul gifts. I want to step into my power. I want to really serve with my unique gifts. Okay, but if that actually happened, would you be able to trust it? Would you be able to say, okay, I don't know where this is coming from. This is just moving through me. It doesn't fit any framework. Would you feel safe to share that? Would you feel safe to share it without any kind of framework, without any kind of modality? Would you be able to trust it? Or would you actually feel like you'd rather go back to the things that feel safe and the things that you know? Because then again, it's about not yet having the capacity to hold these soul gifts. And that's kind of the thing, because for example, in business, many people think that they're hitting an income ceiling or a visibility ceiling or a spiritual ceiling, when actually they're not hitting any of these ceilings. They're actually hitting a capacity ceiling, because they cannot hold more visibility, abundance, clients, gifts. And so a lot of the times, not all the times, but a lot of the times, people don't get stuck or people don't plateau because there's a money ceiling or an abundance ceiling or a client ceiling holding them back. It's actually their capacity to hold what they want. And this is actually why I am so excited about my new program, Ancient Soul, because the thing is, yes, people do want more gifts, and I am so excited to activate more gifts and more ancient wisdom and more of their unique transmission with them. But a big part of this work is actually working on their energetic capacity and increasing their capacity, because yes, we can activate all of these gifts. We can increase your abundance threshold. We can release your visibility blocks. We can clear them. We can work on past life wounds and ancestral wounds and all of that. But what we also need to do, which is a big part of this work in general that I do, is expand your capacity to hold. Expand your capacity to hold more of your soul gifts, more of your visibility, more responsibility, more abundance, more clients, more intuition, more of your unique gifts, more of your transmission. Because if all of that is activated, but your energetic capacity stays the same, like if we speak in terms of that cup, if your capacity stays at 1 liter, we can bring buckets of water, 5 liters, 10 liters, 100 liters, and try to pour it in. And it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't go anywhere. It would just kind of overflow, and you wouldn't be able to actually anchor it into your system. So what we need to do is expand your capacity to hold that. We need to get that 1 liter cup to expand so that it can hold 5 or 10 or 100 liters. And then we can actually pour in all of these things. We can actually bring in more money, more clients, more gifts, more ancient wisdom, and you can actually hold it. Like you can actually keep it or integrate it or anchor it into your system because you have that energetic capacity. And so this is really about, yes, clearing the blocks, activating the gifts, reconnecting you with your unique soul's blueprint. But it is then also about energetically expanding your container, your system, so that all of these things have a place to go, so that you can actually anchor that into your reality. And another way you can also think about that is, for example, a lot of people think that their dream life or their dream amount of clients or their dream partner will make them feel safe and will make them feel happy. But it's actually the other way around. Like, you need to create that first. And this is also, as you probably know, how manifestation works. You need to create that feeling, that sensation, that vision within you first. You need to start to feel safe within you. You need to start to feel happy within you before you can attract that, because like attracts like and all of that. And you need to create the foundation of what you want to have first so that it can actually become a match and come into your reality. And it's kind of like the same thing. Like, when we create the capacity, when we create that container, only then can what you want or what you envision come into your life, because you've created that space where it can safely land. And what I would really encourage you to ask yourself is, where in your life are you asking to receive more? Are you currently asking to receive more money? Are you currently asking to receive more clients, more love, more joy, more happiness, more safety, whatever it might be, where you're currently asking to receive that without actually doing the work to be able to hold it? Like, where are you not yet the person who can hold it? Because you have that in you. Like, it is possible for you, for anyone. But for some of the things that you want, you actually need to do some work to be able to hold it and to be able to receive it. Because if you're praying for expansion, if you're really longing for expansion and for things to shift in a certain way, but on some level you're actually resisting it, then nothing is going to happen. And this is why capacity is so important. And again, really feeling into, if the thing that you want arrived tomorrow, would you actually be able to hold it? And I mean, you can feel into that from a logical perspective, and there you might actually say, well, yeah, of course, like, I'm ready for that. I want that. I've wanted this for so long. But if you actually like close your eyes and feel into, if I had 20 clients sliding into my DMs tomorrow, would I actually still feel safe? And really feel into, not from a logical perspective, like, yeah, of course I could make that work and that would be great, but really feeling into your body and asking yourself, asking your body, asking your energy, how would that feel? And maybe you feel expansion, and then that's great, because that probably means that you do have the capacity, and then it's just about calling it in the right way. But if you feel contraction or fear or some kind of tension in your system, and your body usually knows, like your body knows how it would feel, then it probably means that you first need to expand your capacity so that you can actually exhale. Because, yeah, when you ask yourself that and really tune into your body, you might either feel like an exhale where you're like, okay, yes, I can really surrender into that. Or you might actually feel that you're getting a little bit tense and there's this like, well, it feels like a lot, in a way where probably a part of you would try to push it away or would try to resist it because you're not yet fully ready for that. And yeah, the thing is, your soul is always trying to expand its expression through you. Your soul is always trying to come through more and really share more of its unique expression, of its unique gifts, of its unique truth through you. So this capacity work is kind of like an ongoing thing where you constantly need to check with yourself again and again and again to feel like, can I hold that next level? Can I hold that without feeling overwhelmed? Can I hold it without feeling unsafe? And if not, what do I need to do? Like, how can I expand my capacity? How can I expand my energy to hold that? Because the thing is, the question is not whether your soul is ready for you to do this work, because honestly, your soul is always ready. It's always happy to bring more of you, of your unique gifts through. It's about you, like the human you, who we need to ask, like, are you ready to hold that? Are you ready to bring that through? Are you ready to birth this or express this or share this? Because your soul already knows, like your soul is already in that vision and your soul already knows what you came here to do and what you're capable of. But we need to create the container to actually hold that. And yes, this is what we do in Ancient Soul. And we're actually starting this week. And yes, if you feel like you want to join, last minute, please reach out, see if there are any spots left. And yes, if you have any questions at all about this topic, about capacity, about ancient soul, about anything else, please feel free to reach out. And I hope this episode was helpful for you. Yeah. And I'm wishing you beautiful day, night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for listening. And yes, sending you lots of love.